Women of all ages are more attracted to 35-year-old men compared to 25-year-old men. But 25-year-old me doesn't hold a candle to 35-year-old me today. The core issue of guys who don't become more attractive as they age is that they're sacrificing themselves for other people. A 35-year-old man has been through things and he's had to grow and develop himself to get to a higher place in life. Me, as a 35-year-old man, I have all the leverage because I'm willing to walk away because I don't need anything. I don't need a woman. Like if you're a 25-year-old guy now and you take my advice on how to live your life, you will be 100 times, 1,000 times more attractive in 10 years from now. What's up, bro? So why 35-year-old men are more attractive than 25-year-old men? The brutal truth is it comes down to experience and just leveling up in life. A 25-year-old guy is pretty inexperienced when it comes to women, and this shows in his mannerisms. This shows in his reactivity. I remember being 25. I was actually married when I was 25. I got married when I was 21. Like a week after I turned 21, I was getting eloped with my wife. But I remember being very reactive to my wife's mood swings. I would just let her upset me. She could upset me pretty easily. And now I'm 35. No woman can upset me. One, because I live my life in solitude for the most part. I have seasons where I date women, but mostly it's just me developing myself. I'm just not fazed by what any other human could say or do. Like even men, because I train combat sports and I lift weights in the gym. So being non-reactive, this is a big thing, and younger men just don't have that. They're insecure in themselves, really. When I was 25, I thought I was very secure with myself, but it was like a fake security. It was a fake confidence. Real confidence is built over decades of self-development, which I was not doing. If you watch my previous video, you will know that I was a degenerate for most of my life, starting as a teenager, extreme degenerate. And then I got married. Me and my wife were making a lot of money doing adult content. And obviously that degeneracy continued. Now that I've been single for the last 4 years, bachelor life, I've been focusing on myself and my personal development. Now I can say I've built true self-confidence and security in who I am. I know who I am because I've spent years journaling and reading and fasted hikes through nature, solo trips. Every year for my birthday, I take a solo trip somewhere meaningful to me, usually in Croatia, where I was born. I went to Pula, my birthplace. That was the first solo trip. And I'm going to Rovinj, which is near Pula, this year. But 25-year-old me doesn't hold a candle to 35-year-old me today. It's like a night and day difference. And women of all ages are more attracted to 35-year-old men compared to 25-year-old men. So the MILFs and cougars are more attracted to me than they would be to 10 years younger me. And also the young women, like 20 to 25-year-old women, college girls, they're more attracted to me today than they were 10 years ago. But doesn't have to be the case. In fact, I think most men actually get less attractive as they age because they stop taking care of themselves. They stop going to the gym. I've actually accelerated going to the gym. I go to the gym more now than when I was 25. Way more. I'm much more consistent with my training. I do more different kinds of training. I do different kinds of cardio and HIIT training. I do combat sports. I'm on my rise. And if you watch my videos and you take my advice, you can be way more attractive 10 years from, like if you're a 25-year-old guy now and you take my advice on how to live your life, you will be 100 times, 1,000 times more attractive in 10 years from now. But this is not the case for most guys. Most guys, they get less attractive, they get bald, they get a beer belly, and they just, because they stop caring. And the core issue of guys who don't become more attractive as they age is that they're sacrificing themselves for other people. They're sacrificing their own personal development. So they're sacrificing the time and the energy and the money it takes to develop yourself in order to give that time, money, and energy to other people, whether it's a wife, a girlfriend, children. You're giving it that time and energy to friends. You might hear the condescending tone when I say friends, because I'm not talking about true friendship, which is very different than these like friendships that people have of just drinking alcohol and going out at night, or drinking beer and watching sports, watching other men play sports while they destroy their health with alcohol, and they do it together in a group and they call it friendship. So when I say friends, this is what I'm talking about. It's like the degenerate type of friends. It's not the real friends that are you're doing hill sprints together or something like that. But I digress. So it's not a guaranteed thing that you're going to be more attractive at 35 than you are at 25. You have to actually work on yourself. And this requires sacrifice. As usual, I always have to mention this. It's not an easy path. The path I lay out for you guys is extremely difficult. It's the most difficult path because you have to sacrifice all the nice things that you love. All the things that you probably think make a life worth living is what I'm asking you to sacrifice so you can put all that time and energy and effort into developing yourself. And that way you can be extremely attractive. Like you can become much, much more attractive to women the older you get, instead of being less attractive the older you get, which is the case for most guys, I think, because like I said, they let themselves go. They get a girlfriend or a wife and they spend their time drinking wine, going to restaurants, maybe traveling, or if they're not affluent, maybe they're spending their time watching Netflix, cuddled up on the couch watching Netflix, just indulging in comfort and pleasure and enjoyment instead of self-inflicting hardship and challenge, which is what develops you as a man and makes you more attractive over time. If you live a full life where you're being challenged and you have to grow to overcome those challenges, and you're getting better and better in all ways. You're getting smarter, you're getting faster and stronger and richer, and you're just developing yourself across the board. This is the life experience that makes you more attractive. It's not like just being older makes you more attractive. It's all the things that come with age, the maturity, the wisdom. And these are like vague concepts, maturity, wisdom. So let me give you a practical trait that older men have that I'm 35, and compared to me, I'm going to throw up some pictures of when I was 25 so you can see the difference. I look much better, but on the inside, my behavior is so much more attractive to women because I don't give a fuck about women. And this is the core theme of my channel regarding female nature. We talk about other things besides female nature. We talk about self-development for men. But the core theme of being attractive to women is not caring about women. It's being effortless. It's exuding mastery, amused mastery. You're going to hear me talk about this. An older man exudes amused mastery because he has done the work. He has done the inner work. He's done the actual work that generates income. So a 35-year-old man has been through things and he's had to grow and develop himself to get to a higher place in life. So along the way, as you're living your life and you're confronted with struggle and challenge and obstacles, and you have goals and you work towards those goals, this is all developing you into a more attractive man. And if you choose the right things to care about, you choose the correct values to have. I mention religion often, and I mention philosophy because my favorite philosopher is Nietzsche, and he did a lot of work on like tearing down Christianity and showing how the Christian values are life denying. So if you value things like pity and charity and compassion, I'm not saying compassion is a bad thing at all. I also value compassion, but I don't have to think about it. I don't have to be like, oh, how do I be more compassionate? Let me give you a quick tip. If you want to be more compassionate, you need to become more powerful. The more power you have, the more compassionate you can be, because you can afford to be compassionate and you can afford to be generous and kind when you're overflowing with power. When you are like a god among men and you're just better and you're superior, this will make you naturally more compassionate, because like I always give this analogy, I made this up by the way, is that you should be like an adult in a world of children. And how would an adult behave? They're like so much smarter and stronger and better and superior to the children. So they want to help the children grow. They want to guide the children. They are kind and compassionate and generous and playful with the children. So if you want to be all these good qualities, it all stems from power. You have to increase your own power, personal power on the inside. So this comes practically from journaling, specifically gratitude journaling, mindfulness meditation, daily vigorous exercise, different kinds of intensity of exercise, zone 2 through 5. You do some hill sprints, you do cardio by doing bag work at the boxing gym, you lift weights, you increase your power by making more money, you build a business, you offer value to the world, you give value to the market, and the market rewards you for that value that you gave with money. So you have to learn sales and marketing. By learning and growing and building yourself, all you're doing is increasing your own power. And by increasing your own power, you are naturally developing these traits and values of compassion and kindness and generosity, magnanimity. These are some hard words to say. Magnanimity. In my recent video, someone commented on my speech. It's difficult to understand my speech because of my 15 plus years of daily drug use. So I'm gonna try to improve my speech. I think if I start making daily videos, that will improve my speech a lot. So I hope you guys can bear with me while I struggle with my, I don't know, what is it? Intonation and delivery and pacing. Is that one of them? Oratory skills. This is what I'm trying to develop now. Most of all is my oratory skills, so I can talk to you guys in a way that's not a pain to listen to. But anyway, 35-year-old men, me, I don't give a fuck about women or dating. So I'm not chasing a woman's validation. Women cold approach me and they have to try so hard to get to know me and to develop some kind of relationship with me. I do zero work. I make them do all the work because I'm okay with being alone. This is the thing. I'm pretty sure this is like a business skill, especially for negotiations. It's the person who's willing to walk away that has the power, that holds the cards, that has all the leverage. So me, as a 35-year-old man, I have all the leverage because I'm willing to walk away because I don't need anything. I don't need a woman. I don't need sex. I don't need love. I don't need intimacy or connection or none of that. I have everything I need in me because I've built that. I've built that personal power, that inner world that no one can take from me. And you do this through years of struggling with personal development and just increasing your power in solitude, sacrificing all the fun, easy, comfortable, pleasurable things in life. Not all the time. I'm not saying you have to live like a monk, but I'm saying have some priorities. Don't go out drinking with the boys. Go to bed on time so you can wake up refreshed with energy and vitality so you can conquer the day and make progress on your goals. You should have goals. If you don't have goals, if you don't care about personal development, you will not be more attractive at 35 than you were at 25. It takes time to develop the traits, the skills, the abilities, the characteristics that make a man attractive. So a 25-year-old guy is like a boy compared to a 35-year-old guy who's been working on himself, who is a real man. And women are attracted to real men, not little boys who don't have their shit together, who don't have life figured out yet. So 35-year-old men, if you've been working on yourself the last 10 years, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And to the 25-year-old men, you need to start sacrificing fun and comfort and pleasure and start to lean in to struggle and challenge and discomfort. Do things that are uncomfortable. I remember I was procrastinating going to my first kickboxing class for so long. I kept hearing the advice from other men, older men. They're like, yeah, it's good. It's a good idea to do some kind of combat sports in addition to weightlifting. And if you're not weightlifting, then okay, you're very behind, but you should be weightlifting consistently by the time you're 25. And by the time you're 35, you'll have 10 years of consistent weightlifting, so you're going to have an amazing physique. But looking good is one thing. Feeling good and feeling confident, knowing you can defend yourself, this is a whole nother level. Because there are guys like gym cells, they're called. They have a lot of muscles. They're lean. They look great, but they're bad with women because their behavior doesn't match how they look. They're like meek and soft on the inside, even though they look tough on the outside. And this is because they're not doing combat sports. Combat sports is so important. Boxing and kickboxing, these are probably the two best. A lot of people do BJJ. I don't know about BJJ for the long term. I heard it can like grind down your joints over the years. But I mean, obviously, I want to learn some grappling skills as well. This is extremely useful to know. We got some cloud coverage. Anyway, the brutal truth is that yes, you can be 10 times, 100 times more attractive at 35 than you were at 25 if you do the work. But it requires a strong will. You have to be better than the other men. Most guys will not be more attractive at 35. Maybe they'll make more money. Probably they'll make more money, and that's it. For me, I make like 5% of the money I used to when I was 25. I was making a lot more money at 25 than I am now at 35. But I am way more attractive to women than I was before. My success with women is insane. I don't even have to try. They pursue me all of the time. There is no point in an interaction with a woman where I am trying to get with her. It's always the girl is trying to get with me. And I reluctantly like allow greater and greater degrees of interaction from her. I'm very, very selective. I'm very protective of my time and my energy. I spend most of my time and energy on developing myself. This is how I became attractive to women, is by being focused on myself. Okay, now the sun's coming out. So the brutal truth, yes, you can be way more attractive to women at 35 than 25 if you do the work. Women will desire you for your calm indifference. They will desire you for your amused mastery. You'll just exude this calm power. And that calm power is built through years of struggle and suffering, but like correct suffering. I'm not saying, like when I say suffering, when I'm meditating, this is suffering because it's hard. When I'm lifting weights, it's painful. I'm suffering. But this is the kind of suffering you need to be doing consistently every day for years and years and years. And that's what makes you attractive. It's not about tactics or strategies or what do I say? What do I text? I don't text. I'll text like 1 or 2 words. A lot of times I will not respond to women who text me because they're not like asking me a question, or If it doesn't 100% warrant a response, I don't give a response. I won't like the message or anything like that. Don't give anything more than the bare minimum of attention to women. This is something I've learned over the years, is that you want to limit the attention that you give to women as much as possible. So many of these guys who ask me for advice, they're usually like young guys from India, and they're doing everything wrong. They're following girls on social media. They're liking every post. They're commenting on the posts. They're just giving all this free attention and validation to women. This is the opposite of what you should do. So over the years, you will learn all these things, and it will show when you're focused on yourself and personal development. It'll show up in your charisma and how you talk and how you move and your body language. And most of this stuff is way more important than the words you say. So like most communication is non-verbal. And if you want to have attractive nonverbal communication, it comes from focusing on yourself for years. So focus on yourself. If you're a 25-year-old man, do not have a girlfriend. Do not get married. Like I said, I was married at 21, and I wish I could get those years back so I could do more personal development on myself. Sacrifice the time with women. Sacrifice the time with friends having fun, and use it to level yourself up. Don't sacrifice. If you can have like a lunch or something, or play sports or work out with a guy who is successful and you want to be where he's at, and guys like that, their time is limited and they're very protective of their time. So if you can get time with a guy like that and he can like mentor you and give you advice or just hang out and like do something productive together, do it. I'm talking about sacrifice time with people if you're like drinking and just enjoying yourself, which you do need some of that, but I was doing way too much. I was doing 100% enjoyment, 0% self-improvement. It should be like 80-20, 80% self-improvement, 20% enjoyment, and you can break it up into seasons however you is appropriate for you. But basically, sacrifice your time and energy spent with the herd and with women so that you can develop yourself and become better and eventually be much more attractive to all people, including all women. And if you want the full blueprint of understanding women, rising above the herd, outcompeting all the other men, get my ebook, The Brutal Truth of Female Nature, top link in description and pinned comment. Like this video if you want more of these topics. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment, give me some feedback. How's my oratory? How's my speaking skill? I hope it's getting better. I did some practices before this video. Unique New York. Unique New York. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. But yeah, like 16, 17 years of daily weed use. It makes your speech not the best. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.